Hey there and welcome to MMA Daily. Here's what we've got lined up for you today. Starting off, Max Holloway clowns Ilia Topuria for wearing replica BMF title. Moving on, UFC CEO Dana White reacts after Conor McGregor and Dan Hooker seemingly agree to fight. Lastly, Robert Whittaker sends scathing warning to Khamzat Chimaev ahead of UFC 308. Max Holloway is questioning Ilia Topuria's mentality after he posed with a replica BMF championship. Holloway will challenge Topuria for the UFC featherweight title on October 26th. The 145-pound title fight will headline UFC 308 in Abu Dhabi. There has been some banter between the two ahead of fight night. Topuria did not get his wish to also have Holloway's BMF title at stake on fight night. Holloway has criticized Topuria for trying to add a stipulation to a BMF championship bout. Ahead of fight night, UFC posted an interview with Max Holloway. Max Holloway poked fun at Ilia Topuria for his reaction to the knockout over Justin Gaethje at UFC 300. My favorite clip from that night is not even me knocking him Justin Gaethje out or screaming over him. It's of Ilia Topuria looking lost, like he didn't know where he was. He didn't even know if he was in human dimension. The BMF is not a title. The BMF is something that the fans and the people and your peers put you in. This whole time, him and his fans like harassing me and even telling me put up my title. I'm like, bro, I have no choice. I mean, you gotta have that talk with Dana White and Hunter. It wasn't too long ago when Ilia was seen holding his UFC featherweight championship on one shoulder and a replica BMF title on the other. Holloway believes this is a bad look for Ilia. If you're over there buying your own BMF belt, that's kind of a weird mentality, bro. I don't know, it's sus. UFC President Dana White has given his thoughts on the prospect of Conor McGregor squaring off against Dan Hooker next year. Everyone knows that Conor McGregor is a hard guy to predict. One day he's teasing a return to the cage and the next he's off partying in the middle of nowhere. He is a true enigma in the sport of mixed martial arts, and by default, he's the biggest superstar we've ever seen in this sport. With that in mind, it's safe to say there's a lot invested in his potential comeback. He's made it clear that he wants to return, but after suffering an injury prior to his scheduled bout with Michael Chandler, McGregor has instead focused his attention on having a good time outside of active competition. Recently, however, Conor has implied that he could be preparing to face Dan Hooker in early 2025. Dana White, meanwhile, had the following thoughts after he heard that. That would be a great fight. I like that fight. Former UFC middleweight champion Robert Whittaker sent a scathing warning to Khamzat Chimaev ahead of their UFC 308 fight. Whittaker and Chimaev have been rebooked to fight next Saturday in Abu Dhabi in a highly anticipated bout. It's a pivotal fight for the middleweight division as the winner will likely get a title shot. Although Chimaev is the betting favorite, Whittaker believes right when Khamzat steps into the octagon, he is in danger. As soon as he steps inside that octagon with me, he's in deep waters. He's already in the waters that I want him to be in. It's different because I've never been outright disliked, but you know what? It didn't affect me too much 3 months ago in Saudi Arabia, and I don't expect it to affect me too much in this fight. One thing is I've never tried to play to the crowd, and that's what they see. They see real. I'm in there to do a job. I'm in there to try and put him away, to bury Chimaev. So I'll work on winning the crowd over after that. Khamzat Chimaev is undefeated, but he hasn't fought in a year, so there are questions around him. However, Robert Whittaker isn't overlooking him as he knows Chimaev is a tough challenge for anyone. Even though Whittaker knows Chimaev is a tough out, he has confidence he won't just get his hand raised, but will do so by stoppage. In any way possible. I've left no stone unturned and I've trained my heart out for this. I'm going to get in there. I've got 25 minutes with him. I'm looking to try and take his head off the entire 25 minutes, but I've addressed every skill set for this fight. The fight is 5 rounds, even though it's not the main event, which Whittaker believes benefits him as the longer it goes, the better he gets. Robert Whittaker enters the bout with a 26-7 record and is coming off a KO win over Ikram Aliskerov back in June. He was originally supposed to fight Chimaev on that date, but Khamzat withdrew. Khamzat Chimaev, meanwhile, is 13-0 as a pro and coming off a majority decision win over Kamaru Usman. Thanks for tuning in to MMA Daily. We appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time for more exciting updates and analysis. Take care.